Hey guys, it's Luke. Obviously, no studio today. No nice camera. It's all gone. AI took my job as an English teacher. And now I live here. In a tent. All right, well, let's talk about it.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh.
What is the future of English learning as AI keeps getting better basically every day? Are English teachers like me about to completely disappear? That's one question. I think it's a good question that's, worth thinking about. I obviously thought about it. That's why I moved into this tent. I came to the conclusion that it's, game over. It's game over. But there's a little more to it. So let's talk about the future of English learning and what it will look like by the year 2030, in about the next 5 years. Will there be any English teachers left?
So do you know what I'm thinking right now?
Well, I take it from your tone that you're challenging me.
First, I'm going to share what AI tools will be able to do in the next few years, and then how you can make the most of them, because that's just who I am. Even though I live in a tent, I'm helpful. And then we'll discuss the role of English teachers. All right, so let's get into it. I guess I should mention that I am biased. I mean, I'm an English teacher, right? And I enjoyed it, right? Creating videos and courses for English learners. And it makes me happy to know that I helped hundreds of thousands of people improve their English. But I will try to be objective in this video. So let's get into the future of AI. I've got 5 things I want to mention here, and then we'll talk about teachers. So number 1, AI agents. AI agents, ChatGPT, Gemini, these tools, the way that we use them now is honestly temporary, right? You have to always start a new chat. You have to paste prompts in and constantly explain your preferences. I like this. I don't want that. What you want to have is an assistant that's always there who understands your goals, your weak areas, and adapts as you progress, right? Like the AI, if you've seen the movie Her, like that, right? A companion who can adapt based on your goals, based on what you're trying to achieve. You would want to just say, hey, what are we working on today? And you're on a walk, and then you just have conversations, you answer questions, you learn idioms, you master phrases, practice grammar, pronunciation, get pronunciation feedback, everything. That is what you want. People are working on that. They're called agents, and people are working very hard on it. And they're not great yet, but I think they definitely will be in the very near future. Number 2, custom content creation. So I made a video recently about Google's Notebook LM, which lets you create a podcast based on what you're learning. It's very realistic. Check that video out. Well, imagine that you have something like that, but better for everything. Podcasts, any style you want, any accents, any content. Music, you can already do that with some tools pretty well. Games, movies, creating unlimited custom content to help you learn. So picture this. So you have a short movie that's maybe 10, 15 minutes long, and you are the main character in the movie. And in the movie, your English is just a little bit better than it is now, just slightly better, so that you can see very easily the gap between you now and you in the movie, a very small gap. And so that makes it easier to make little changes, right? You can adjust, you can see how to get there, right? At the end, then, you would practice with your AI assistant specific exercises to help you improve your pronunciation, your fluency, and you just keep doing that, getting a little bit better using custom content. And this is going to be very powerful. Number 3, immersion, feedback, and motivation. And what if your AI assistant, who knows everything about you, What if you give that AI assistant permission to observe you? Okay, I know that sounds a little bit creepy. A lot of people will not want to do that, but it could be very powerful. So it tracks what you say, what you write, what you read, how often you do all of those things. It collects new words that you encounter throughout your day. And then when you open your phone, there's a custom exercise to learn the words, the idioms, the grammar that you encountered in your day in the original context. You heard this here. I'll give you an example. So for example, your boss says, I'm not sure what the implications are. And you heard that, but you were thinking about something else. You didn't really focus on it. Well, your assistant hears everything that is said, and it knows that you don't know that word, and the word implication, for example. And so it starts, when you're having conversations, using that word more, a little bit more, naturally giving you opportunities to use it as well, nudging you. It doesn't feel like studying. You just learn kind of automatically. And that is going to be crazy. Eventually, the word will just stick and you never had to study it. That's how it's going to be. It might also say, remember you wanted to practice for your upcoming interviews next week? How about doing that while you prepare dinner? So it knows you're making dinner. You have a little time to do something with your mind while you're doing something with your hands, right? And in that way, it kind of keeps you accountable, like a personal trainer. It knows you want to do those things, but it knows that you won't do that by yourself. And it knows that you need a little nudge to actually do stuff. And so it gives you that gentle push. Or maybe, hey, you know that book you're reading? I found an online book club that's discussing that book. Would you like me to sign you up to the book club? You say, yeah, sure. And it signs you up. It gives you those kind of gentle pushes to compensate for procrastination and that fear of getting out of your comfort zone. It's kind of like your personal trainer, but who's also big brother, kind of watching everything that you do. Big brother, big sister, whatever. Number 4, augmented reality. Imagine having Jarvis from Iron Man showing you useful information overlaid on top of the real world, like Iron Man. He's got those glasses on, and you get the heads-up display thing. Imagine that, right? I believe that AR is going to happen. The Meta Ray-Ban glasses are already pretty decent. That's just audio, but it's moving in the right direction. I reviewed those if you want to check that out. Meta right now are working on a pair of glasses that can display information in front of your eyes in your field of view. And it looks pretty good, honestly. So let's say you're at a restaurant, you open up the menu at the restaurant, and there's a food item that you don't know how to say. So you put your finger next to the word, and the glasses know that, well, that means that you want to know maybe what that is or how to say it, right? So it pops up on the screen the phonetic spelling of the word. Let's say it's quinoa. Looks crazy, but it's pronounced fairly simply. And so you see keen, K-E-E-N, wa, W-A. And then you also hear it played in your ear, quinoa. And so then you can order from the waitress naturally with the natural pronunciation without having to do anything other than point at a word on a menu. So that's going to be pretty amazing. Things like this are coming very soon. People are working on them. And you can already do some of this stuff with ChatGPT just by uploading a picture. Number 5, gamification. I love Star Trek, 90s Star Trek. And if you've seen that, you know about the Hol Deck. So this is a space where you can basically create anything that you can imagine and walk around in it. Well, imagine having that where you can create anything that you can imagine. Maybe not in a room where it's actually real, maybe not, but maybe in a video game, maybe in VR, possibly, either way. Maybe it's not even an English game, it's just a game where you have to talk a lot. You have to negotiate, you have to make deals, you have to use your charisma, you have to accomplish things with your language skills. And it's really fun. And the NPC characters that you're interacting with respond to what you're saying, right? They're responding to you in the moment, and it's very real. So again, this is something that people are working on. There are a few versions of it, like there's a streamer who does Skyrim, and she interacts with NPC characters in Skyrim. But I think this is going to be much better in the future and will be a very, very powerful way to simulate real-life experiences and practice language skills with real stakes. If you fail, you die, that sort of thing.
Gerald, are you ready to play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yes, Miko. I'm ready.
How ready are you?
4, Miko. 4.
I'm not quite like having the Hol Deck, but still very cool. So these are just 5 examples, but I think the future of language learning is going to be incredible. This is all very fresh and very new, and it's all happening. It's ongoing, and within the next 5 years, let's say by the year 2030, I think it'll all be here in a very advanced form. And I'm of mixed minds about it. I'm excited, and also it's a little scary, right? That's why I preemptively moved into this tent, because I'm just not so sure, you know? Okay, so what role do English teachers play, if any? Well, you're watching this video. Why? Why are you watching this video? Is it to extract information? Is that the only reason? I don't think so. If it were to extract information, I don't think that you would be watching this video. Humans, I think, have a natural need to connect with other humans. No matter how good AI gets, I think that will always be true. And teaching will change, is changing, but won't disappear. It will just change. I'm not sure that one-to-one English teachers will need to exist when we have amazing AI agents. I don't see it being a feasible economic model. Why would I pay for that when I could have unlimited conversations with a native English speaker who can give me corrections 24/7, one-to-one? Why would I? Yeah, fair question. But I think English teachers who teach in groups play a very important social role. Teachers, I think, can create meaningful experiences with the help of AI. So teachers, I think, shouldn't be afraid of it. They should be using it as a tool to create even more interesting experiences. And I think teachers may even create some of the things that I was talking about before, like custom agents. You know, I want this teacher's custom agent or that teacher's custom agent. I want to have the Luke GPT, and I would license maybe my persona so that people can do that, right? I think that's definitely something that's going to happen. And I think also teachers can help design those experiences like the Hol Deck sort of thing, video games. I think they can help create those interesting interactions that happen in the game. And instead of buying a video game, you hop into a teacher's custom experience to challenge you to improve your language skills. I think it's a matter of preference. I really do. When I make a course, I really put my heart and soul into creating not just a bunch of information, but a human experience that's organized in a way that gives people delight, that they enjoy, that they get a lot more out of than just the information. So there's something basically human about learning from another person, I believe. I like to learn from other people. I also use ChatGPT a lot, but I also like to learn from other human beings. I do it all the time. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think no matter how advanced AI gets, there's always going to be a place for human interaction. Although perhaps I'm just coping. Who knows? All right, well, that's it. I'm going to go find a sleeping bag before winter comes. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Get a free course in the links in the description, and I will see you in the next one.